Okay, so now we're going to look at question number 5 from the Unit 1 assessment. Choose 3 inferences the reader can make about Alice's character from this passage. Put a check mark in the box next to each inference you choose. Alright, so this question is asking us to look at the author's characterization. When we make an inference, we're looking at the way the author describes the character, the types of things Alice says, the types of things she does, her thoughts, the way she reacts to situations, and that's going to help us figure out Alice's personality. Alice is easily alarmed by any difficulty. If you are alarmed by something, it means that you are incredibly scared or frightened, and that someone who's alarmed is probably going to act very frightened and not really make smart decisions or think about what they're doing or try to solve their problems. Usually when somebody's alarmed, they're too scared to actually try to do anything that could help them. Alice is extremely careful and not inclined to take risks. Okay, so somebody who's very careful is going to think very carefully before they do something, and they're probably not going to do anything that is risky. Something that's risky is something that could have a dangerous side effect, and because it has a dangerous side effect and you're not a person who likes to take risks and you're very careful, you're not going to do it. You're not going to take a chance. If we see Alice taking chances in the story, then this would not apply to her. Because again, somebody who's extremely careful is not going to do something that is risky. They're not going to take that chance. Almost everybody got this one correct, so I'm not even going to talk about it. Obviously, Alice has great curiosity, and this is one of the 3 inferences. Alice has little energy. All right, so if this was the answer choice, that would mean that there is evidence in the story that Alice is very tired and sleepy and is not really doing anything to solve her problems because she doesn't have energy. Alice is foolish and not very bright. All right, so if Alice is foolish and not very bright or smart, that means that she does very stupid things that a canny person would not do. So I really need to think about the types of decisions that Alice makes and the way she tries to solve her problem. If I see her thinking about consequences, if I see her thinking about what she can do and the choices that she has in front of her, then this would not be a good answer choice to match her. Alice is not easily frightened by problems. All right, so if Alice is not easily frightened by problems, I'm going to see her really thinking about the obstacles that are in her way. I'm going to see her trying to solve her problem. The opposite type of person, someone who is easily frightened, would maybe hide in the corner crying, and they wouldn't really try to do anything to help themselves. And then finally, Alice has a good imagination. So somebody who has a good imagination is going to be somebody who is very creative, somebody who in their thoughts can imagine magical worlds, or they would be able to imagine the impossible happening. Somebody who's willing to take a risk and try something that logically in the real world probably wouldn't work. It wouldn't be a realistic solution to your problem. That's going to be the type of person who has a good imagination. All right, so once you pick your 3 inferences for Alice, then you're doing the same thing for B. You're going to take each one of your check marks, and for each one you need to find a piece of evidence that clearly shows that that is Alice's personality. When she got to the door, she found she had forgotten the little key. All right, so what does this show? This shows forgetfulness. So if I think that one of the answer choices is one that talks about Alice being forgetful, then this is the one that I'm going to choose. She tried to fancy what the flame of a candle looks like after the candle is blown out, or she could not ever remember having seen such a thing. All right, so this right here is evidence that shows me Alice thinking and imagining something. So again, for each of these answer choices, what you want to do is you want to read the evidence and you want to think about what it shows you about that person. And if this evidence shows you the same thing as one of the answers you chose in A, then that's going to be what you pick. For this curious child was very fond of pretending to be 2 people. Okay, clearly we see the word curious here. This evidence is showing us that she's curious. And she's fond of pretending to be two people. Again, that's something that a very creative or imaginative person would do. So this matches imaginative. Alice had got so much in the way of expecting nothing but out of the way things to happen that it seemed quite dull and stupid for life to go on in the common way. She was expecting nothing but out of the way things to happen. What type of person expects only out of the way things to happen? Oh, how I wish I could shut up like a telescope. Here, she is wishing that she could go and shrink and become smaller. If you drink much from a bottle marked poison, it is almost certain to disagree with you sooner or later. All right, so here we see Alice talking about poison and how if you drink poison, it is going to probably not be the wisest idea. All right, so think very carefully about your answer choices and which ones you think best suit Alice and which evidence best proves that.